Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's pretty early here. It's still dark. I wanted to make a real quick follow-up video to the video I posted yesterday, which was 5 types of people that you must avoid in relationships. Because one of them I put on there, I think, was taken the wrong way, which is funny because I was just talking about in that video that we all say things sometimes that don't come out the right way or taken the wrong way. Well, that was one of them. So rather than saying that I think you took it the wrong way, I'm going to say I didn't explain it the right way, which is, I think, the truth. And that was the highly traumatized, the people who have been highly traumatized. I stand by what I said, but I didn't explain it very well. So here goes. I think what I should have said is, instead of the highly traumatized, I should have said the the victim, the constant perpetual victim. Because what the victim does is they take their trauma and they just live in it. They don't resolve it. They don't actually do the work it takes. And instead of that, they almost wear it on their sleeves and they almost weaponize their trauma against other people. I've been through this, so I'm going to give it to you. I've been through this. I just embrace that. And am I going to fix it? No. Am I going to work on it? No. But this is what I went through, and that's that. That's it. And that is a lot of people. Actually, guys, that's the vast majority of people who have been through a lot of trauma. So we know when we've been through the narcissistic relationship, we have got to be really careful in this day and age. Most people out there, guys, are just a mess. And it's not an issue of being judgmental of that person. You got to remember something. I'm not talking about salvation. On this channel, I'm not talking about whether the person is saved or not. Should you just disregard them completely, discard them out of your life entirely if they have any issues, any problems? I'm talking about who do you want to potentially spend your life with? That person, you've got to be careful. And the 5 types of people I mentioned, you don't want you don't want to do that. It's not to say that it's an absolute. There's no absolutes. Just like with the trauma. If you've been through tremendous trauma, you may have actually pinpointed it, compartmentalized it somehow, resolved it, healed it, you've moved on, you don't live in the victim mentality. That's some of you on this channel. That's really all of us who have been through the narcissistic abusive pattern and come out clean and good on the other side. We resolved the trauma. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but we resolved it. And I still say the only way to really do that is to go to the great therapist, that is the Lord. Nothing else is going to resolve it, actually take care of it. Guys, most people don't do that. In fact, most people with serious childhood trauma, particularly childhood trauma, they don't even understand it until they get later in life. And I saw that firsthand with a person who slowly began to understand their childhood trauma and what they'd been through while we were together and just couldn't begin to process it because it was new. Didn't even realize the extent to what had happened until they got older. And then you're left with a person you can't do anything with. They have a lot of work to do, and they're in the meantime, they're going to take it out on you and probably blow the relationship up. So yes, I stand by the fact that on average, on balance, not always, because many of you have proven this. So have I to a degree. But on balance, if you are getting or thinking about getting into a relationship with someone who tells you a lot of really highly traumatic experiences in their life, the odds are they haven't healed from them and they're not going to heal from them. That's the odds. And I think that you have to be careful. You have to protect yourself. And I understandably, some of you will say, well, I've been through so much, I can't even share that with people. I understand. It does happen. There are people who go through this abusive pattern over and over and over and over with people. Sadly, I have seen that happen too, where it's just pretty much all you ever meet. And how do you explain that to someone? Yeah, I've got all these failed relationships, but they really weren't my fault. Sometimes that happens. There are always exceptions. There are always anomalies. But again, what I think I should have said is it's not so much the highly traumatized person, even though that's problematic because it's typically not taken care of. But what it really is at its core is the perpetual victim who has the trauma but has done nothing really to resolve it, who lives in it, who swims in it, and probably even who just has accepted to a degree internally. And they might say this because I've heard this too, but basically just, I'm broken. I'm busted. I, I've been through what I've been through. It is what it is. The person who's going to live in that victimhood mentality over their trauma and just swim in it, like I said, there's nothing you can do with them. Nothing. You got to get out of that because they will take it out on you the rest of the relationship and they will abuse you because of it and they will ultimately probably leave you because of it as well. So just a clarification. Yeah, there's always exceptions. Many of you are. Simply having been through traumatic experiences does not alone make you not a good person. In fact, it can even make you a much stronger, better person. It's what the narcissist does if you do it the right way, if you come through it. But on average, most people don't. If they're highly traumatized, they don't fix it. They don't even realize it until later in life, a lot of times. But it's most importantly the person who is just going to sit in that trauma, be the victim. So that's really what I meant by it. I hope that adds clarification. Drop comments below if it did. So anyway, hope this was helpful. Come at you with another one soon. Until then, God bless.